Are we just live without the countdown? What the hell? 1 second. Yep, we are actually just live, and the countdown thing did not happen. Fantastic. Why was
Very
that?
cool.
I set that up. Hold on a second. Now I'm mad. No more. Yeah, I clicked on you already. You know what? Forget it. We're doing the 30-second countdown. Okay, now that it's done properly, it's just one of those little things where I know I set you up. You were right there. Why didn't you go? It's a little pet peeve I got. I have many pet peeves. Thank you all who are joining us or who are watching the VOD or whatever else. I am the Teaman as usual. Today we've got two guests with us. First up is Mr. Manic, the Manic Mechanic. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Manic Mechanic. You can find me on basically any video site, YouTube, Rumble, and yeah, I'm covering the internet drama. I browse Twitter, so you don't have to.
Oh my god, you poor soul. And also with us is Mr. Brandon, the anime guy.
Why, hello there, everybody. And of course, you can find me on my channel, Brandon the Anime Guy. I also have the Rumble up and going, and it's getting some decent traction. But yeah, you can find me in those two places, and it's good to be here. I'm ready to talk about this season because I've got some opinions on it. So
Excellent. And both of them are linked down below, so you can go ahead, follow their channels, and enjoy all the fun little goodness. Hoi! This is the first live stream I'm doing with the whole Melon app thing since I got my new computer, so maybe that's why some settings are a little bit weird. But I think we're all good to go. Viewers are slowly rolling in, but I know some of us are on a bit of a time schedule. So we'll go ahead and begin the fun. We'll begin with overall impressions of this spring 2023 season. And so far, I gotta say, I came in with very little expectations, and I am quite pleased with how things have been turning out. It's been better than I anticipated. Most of the shows have been quite a decent hits. I have not skipped much. There's not been many drops, but I hope we get Dux's Throne. Oh yeah, I should be able to. You better work. You better. Okay, there we go. Matthew Schultz, thank you for joining us with your Canada money. I think that's Canada. I hope we get Dr. Stone Season 3 soon. Actually, it's out.
yeah, it's
Dr.
already
Stone
out.
Season 3 is out, and we will be talking about that as well. But yes, that is my overall impressions of this overall season. How about you guys? How have you felt about the season overall?
It's been all right.
Well, I
Hot take.
there's a lot of shows that have second, third, or fourth seasons that I haven't watched the prior ones yet, so I'm not digging into them yet. The closest one for me would be Demon Slayer, and of course it's Demon Slayer. It just doesn't suck, so that one's gonna be fine. But for all the new shows, it's been a mixed bag. I've dropped a little over half of what I originally started with.
All right. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me refresh here to make sure everything is updated. And we'll just go down the list and say their opinions. First up, Konosuba, an explosion in this wonderful world. So I was expecting some good old-fashioned Konosuba shenanigans. I was kind of blown away because this anime is a lot more wholesome than I anticipated. It's doing a lot more for me than I thought it was. How about you guys? Have you watched this?
I watched the first episode, and it was pretty good.
I haven't since I haven't seen the original Konosuba.
Oh, you filthy!
I know, and that's where I get into trouble with some of these with some of these seasons. Having a show as popular as this one was, not seeing it prior to now, it's hard for me to justify jumping in and seeing it unless this is one of those that you can. But I've been told by a few friends of mine that it's well worth the time to watch. So I'll leave it at that.
Thinking about it for this show, it might be possible to begin watching this one since it's a prequel to the original Konosuba. There might be
Maybe.
a little bit of confusion because they have some of the show's nuances that get explained in the original Konosuba. And so you might be like, why the hell are we just supposed to accept things as they are right now?
Yeah.
But yeah. So for those who have Mr. Vinzinger, aka I can't see the full name.
El Utaku, aka the Weeb Pillar.
The Wee Pillar. I did not watch it or the original Konosuba. I recommend. There's also a 30-second video on my channel called Why You Should Watch Konosuba. It'll give you all that you need to know for why you should begin.
Yeah.
So with that, I give it a great recommendation. Like I said, it'll hit some feels more than you expected. And out of the 3 ladies, she is the best one, I think. So that's what you go with. No need.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of come off as they made this spin-off for her because she's the most popular.
I could see it. All right, moving on down the list. Nights with a Cat 2. I watched, I think, the first episode of the first season, but otherwise, that's it. Anybody else?
Nope.
I have not.
Moving on. The breakaway hit of the season for me is this right here, Oshi no Ko. I initially was not even going to watch it because I don't care about idol shows. Then I found out it was written by the makers of Kaguya-sama Love is War. And I heard a lot of people saying this was the most anticipated anime of the season. So I decided, okay, I might as well just give it a shot and drop it after it's done. Oh my god. I was not expecting what came from the first. I also let people know, if you have not watched this, the first episode is basically a movie. It's 3 episodes squished together, maybe even 4. I forget how long it was, but it is. I mean, it's an idol show in the same way Gurren Lagann is a mech show. There's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on in Gurren Lagann than just mere mechs. And there's a lot more going on in this show than just mere idols. If you don't even care about idols like me, you're gonna get plenty of interest from this show. And you will get hit in the feels in ways you were not expecting from a show like this. How about the rest of y'all?
Yeah, I saw people on Twitter, like they were so hype about this show, and then I saw it myself, the first episode so far, and I was like, I get it now. I get it.
I dropped it too quickly. I thought it was going to be more of the pure idol show just based upon what the description was, but I've talked it over with my bud Blaine, and he went and spoiled the first episode for me, which is fine because I can handle that. Now that I know what's going on, yeah, it's been removed from the drop list and put back on the watch list, and I need to watch it. So
Yeah.
I can based upon his description, I can understand why this is hyped. Plus, with it being, the first episode being movie-ish length, 3 to 4 episodes, my understanding is this covers the whole first volume of the light novel or the manga series. So that's
Yes.
that's big. That's actually probably a good way to get started on something when you're dealing with a whole new property, is cover some of the big things that really get your story up and going, as opposed to breaking it up over the 4. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just did it regularly. I may have dropped it, but since they did the full thing and I got the unexpected twist at the end, that's the hook. It hooks you hard.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was by the same mangaka as Kaguya-sama.
Mm-hmm. You can almost see a couple of of the way he does storytelling in it, but in a He does to drama what he did with comedy in Kaguya-sama. So let that be a nice little hook. Right. $20 from the Redneck Ram. Thank you for those $20. I'm gonna make sure to not give any to the people who are joining me. Screw those guys. Here's your money, you blackmailer. Oh yeah, because I put in all in Discord, pinged everybody. Watching this is mandatory. Minimum $20. The rest of you, I'm still waiting for those $20. Konosuba is great. Only seen the original and second season of it. Still need to see the movie. If you see the movie, I would recommend seeing the movie before this, because it'll give some background characters. It'll introduce a lot of the characters you'll see in the prequel. That's a weird way of putting it, but yeah. What else? Analog Drift says that the movie was an hour 20 minutes, so that's 20, 40, 60. That's like 4 episodes in one. Tracy Dickens says, I want to read it. I'm probably going to end up picking up the anime or the manga after the anime is done myself.
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah,
manga
we'll see
is
how it
really
goes.
good.
Yep. Isengard says, the 2023 spring, I'm watching Mashal, Dr. Stone, and Demon Slayer.
I've got 2 of the 3. Now, I'll say this about Mashal. It's just a lot of fun. I really do like it.
Yes, it is. We'll get to it in just a little bit. All right, so after Oshinoko, we have whatever this is, the 4th season of something. Anybody?
No.
Nope. Skip.
Nope, that one was not on my list.
Yep. Yu-Gi-Oh! We can just skip. This. Yeah,
Nope,
this is what
didn't.
I'm thinking of. This is the OVH that guy who got isekai'd into a dog show. I ended up watching the first episode of that. I don't think I finished it because I realized that it's just borderline bestiality. And it's like not like a ha bestiality. I mean, it's just, this is fucking bestiality. If you watch this, I will judge you in a very bad way. I can't believe this got made into anything.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with it last season. I took one look at it and I said, nope, that's the type of shit that gets you put on a list, and I'll pass on that.
Yeah. Whatever this thing with all the naked people are, the marginal service.
Oh,
Anybody
the
watch
marginal
this?
service is great.
It is?
It is really good. Basically, here's my synopsis of it. It's the Men in Black, but in Japan. It has an international team, and I'm not sure why they chose to go with them being naked with the red tape across their southern regions, because that's not exactly how they are. That their costumes that they wear look like they're in construction, and their tools of the trade make them look like they're doing construction work, but they're not in construction work. I really like it. For me, it as far as the whole season, let me rearrange my list here to get them into proper order. Right now, I have it as a lower B tier, so it's good.
Yeah.
For this season. It's good.
I'll add it to my list then. Tokyo Mew Mew Season 2. Anyone?
I watched the first episode of the first season. I wanted to watch it, but I think it's cutesy, but it's cutesy in a way that would probably be better for my kids as opposed to me, so.
Mm-hmm.
Redneck Graham, are you talking about that bestiality show? The Ino ni go for it, I guess.
Yeah, don't watch that. You'll think us. You'll save your brain from needing to have bleach bit poured all over it.
Skip and Loafer is the next one. I skipped it just because it doesn't feel like it's up my alley. Did anybody else watch it? Maybe change my mind?
No.
Well, I started it, but I did not finish the first episode, and the reason being is I think the animation style is just, or the character designs are just a little too off. Plus, we've seen plenty of other shows similar to this, but this has been a very popular one, and I can see it being a good story if you like a good, coming of age, going into high school rom-com. I just couldn't do it because of how many others I have to watch this season and how many others that are like this one. But it could be something to watch if you have nothing else to watch, or you finish all your other stuff and you're like, yeah, I got something from my drop list that was kind of teetering to start with. Maybe I'll give it another shot. That's the type of show that this is to me.
I see. Moving on then. The Kuma Kuma Bear Punch. Anybody?
Nope.
No.
Moving on. Next.
Yeah, I passed on that one.
I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. I skipped because of my whole thing on Isekai. This one just seems like another. We're just gonna bullshit something and pretend like it's good. Am I correct in that?
Well, you know me, I'm an isekai fantasy whore, but
Huh.
I said hell no to this one, so no, I'm not watching it.
I didn't
At
see
some
it.
point, we'll get to the other one that just kind of just irks me. Dead Mount Death Play. I watched the first episode of this and felt it was cramming a little bit too much tropes, but then I watched the rest of it, about episodes 2 and 3, and I actually like it. I'm gonna follow this one. It seems
Yeah. Same deal. I like it. It for an isekai reincarnation, it does have a bit of a twist to it that I wasn't expecting. And I like it. And then it also does push into the realms of what is, who is the good guy, who is the bad guy. And the
It
backstory
follow-
provided with it is big into that.
it follows my general rule of isekai. There needs to be a reason for it to be an isekai. If it can work
Yeah.
without it being an isekai, and you make it into isekai, that means you don't know what you're doing. You're just chasing trends. But
Yep.
this one,
Yeah.
it'd be really difficult to make it work not as an isekai. So I am happy with it. And yeah, Manic, have you watched this yet?
I have not yet.
Right, I'd recommend it. Like I
Yeah.
said, first episode feels like they're just cramming a lot of tropes into one little thing, trying to give you that little hook. But at this point, the hooks are just too obvious for me. But after it gets going, it gets going. Vinland Saga, it's still continuing. I still got to get back on that. I stopped around episode 10, I think, of the first season, purely because things got in the way of me watching it. I got to hop back on that train.
Vinland Saga is damn good. Get through the first season. I've been through the first 6 episodes, and the second season's a change of pace, but I still love Vinland Saga. It's well worth your time.
Yes.
I've
Alright.
been meaning to watch Vinland Saga, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
The stuff I watched is good. I didn't stop because I got bored. I stopped because things got in the way of me watching it. And
Yeah.
now this one surprises me. In Another World with My Smartphone Season 2, it surprised me because I thought this is shit, even from isekai enjoyers. That this is just one of the shittiest isekai out there. How did this get a second season?
No idea, but I didn't even see the first season, so I'm not even bothering with this one.
Yeah,
Is the second season any better?
I don't know. I never watched. I just heard from a lot of people, even the isekai simps, say, "Yeah, this is a bad isekai."
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste my time on it.
Yeah. Right, I have not seen this one. Kizuna no Alelelele. Anybody else?
No.
Which one is it again? What's it called?
Kizuna no Allele.
No, Elele. Oh my word! What's I don't think I did. Although sometimes they don't have the proper English thing on here. Let me take a look at my list, my any list, and see if it's on there.
This
I
is
don't
a story
think
that
it is.
revolves around the unbreakable bonds formed between young women. Kizuna Ai shook the virtual world with her rise to fame, winning the prestigious Lapin d'Or
Oh, that's right.
award 5 years in a row before suddenly disappearing. Following her disappearance, Aiden Academy emerged as the leading institution for cultivating Okay, I'm bored already.
Now I remember. Yeah, I dropped this shit after 3 minutes. It's not a very. It's a extreme VTuber idol heavy show. It's pretty looking, but man, to me it just felt cringe as hell. So no, I didn't do it.
Let me switch over to sub because I'm being blinded by various sub shows next. Okay, so I got that. Right, Insomniacs After School.
I
This
like
is
it.
one you like it?
Yes,
All right, I have not seen it. Sell me on it.
it's very relaxing. Basically,
Alright.
it's a story about 2 kids and their problem with insomnia. their school has a massive telescope, professional grade level astronomy equipment that doesn't get used. She gets up there to find a place to be able to sleep during the day because she can't sleep at night. The other main character, the male, has the same problem. They eventually start palling around, and I can see them eventually, doing the whole rom-com thing. I'm 2 episodes in, and I like it. I'm good with it. It's just one of those calming, soothing. It's just going to be a fun journey. Not no real stakes other than how do they get over their insomnia, but I like it.
Make sure I didn't accidentally miss anything. No, okay. All right. We covered that. Covered Kuma. Here's a surprising little one. Why Rayliana ended up at the Duke's mansion. I'm watching this one, and it's doing better than I expected, to be honest. It's an isekai, so it's immediately on my
Yeah,
list.
the shit
but-
list. Yeah.
Yeah. However, it followed my rule of isekai. It's an isekai in which it makes sense that it's an isekai. So the basic plot is she gets transported to a realm of a novel she read. So she knows what's going to happen, and the character she is supposed to die. And so she is using her knowledge of the characters and future events to manipulate things so she doesn't die. And it goes from there.
Well, I stopped after less than an episode. It's very. It seemed overly prototypical of the female-driven isekai, but from what I understand, within the second episode, she gets away from the supposed stabby, and ends up at the Duke's mansion. And now it's like, well, what do you do now? You've already solved your problem of who's going to kill you and how to get away from him. It didn't feel right to me. So I'm just like, I got too many other things I need to watch. So I ended up dropping it.
I'm liking it so far. It's nothing breathtaking. The art is really good,
Yeah, it is a beautiful looking one. That's true.
but it's definitely an excellent show for me to watch while I'm eating or something along those lines.
Yeah, this is another one that could be picked back up if I end up dropping one of the others. So it teetered. It teetered.
All right. Manic, watch it.
No, I did not.
Nah. Moving on. Alice Geared Aegis expansion. I did not watch this one. Did not interest
I dropped
me.
it. I dropped it like a friggin' hot potato. It was not good.
Yeah.
It basically felt like the first 4 episodes of The Witch from Mercury. Within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, F that noise. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Plus, just looking at the art of this, they just look the same generic plastic crap that too much anime does nowadays. What about
Yep.
you, Manic?
No, I did not touch that.
It'd be funny if like I actually loved it. But Jensen, thank you for joining us. Same with you, Tink. Australian. Right. As long as you're not French.
Oh,
Alright, I'm not even gonna To So Chu. Great mission.
I didn't even have it on my list, so no.
no,
What about you?
did not
Nope.
see it.
Alright, moving on. Ao no Orchestra. I'm
Blue
watching this one.
Orchestra.
Blue. Oh, that's what it is. Blue Orchestra. I'm watching that one. It's it's a coming of age thing. It follows a little bit too. I'm starting to get a little bit tired of this trope because I've been seeing a little bit too often. I do a sport, or in this case, a musical thing. I really love the thing, but then something happens and I no longer love the thing. And within the first 2 episodes, I have to love the thing again.
Yeah, it's definitely heavy in that. But I will say this. Animation's gorgeous, and my mother is a violin player, and she's been in orchestras for as long as I can remember. Watching them play the instrument, especially there at the beginning, to me it looked completely accurate with how it was being done. So technically this is a very good show. Story-wise, yeah, it's got those usual tropes that you've mentioned, although instead of sports it's orchestra. My problem is this is booked for 24 episodes. I don't think I could handle this for 24. So after the first one I dropped it, but this is another one of those that if I was to drop something else, I might go back to, or this could be something that would probably be okay to listen to it dubbed, so that way I could watch it / listen to it while I'm doing something else. So it's one of those to me.
I'll keep watching. I'll see how it evolves, and we'll take it from there. I'm a bit of a fan of I was gonna say the old school music, the classical music stuff. So
Oh yes, the
I'm enjoying the
classics.
sound.
Yeah, I love classical music too, so it could be really good, but it just I've got so many others, so I just decided to drop it.
I think we have an update. Let me see if I refresh. Nope, I was lied to. Go next. Go next. Just talk about this one. Stella of the Theater, Little Dice Star. This was not something I watched because just
Nope.
looked crappy. Manic?
No, didn't see
No, moving on. Chibi, moving on. Demon Slayer, I've already expressed my,
it.
honestly, as the years go by, growing dislike of Demon Slayer, but I'm not gonna bother everybody with that again. For the ones who do like it, now what do you think of this current season?
So I think the first episode, it's not as strong as a start to the first episode of season 2, but it is really strong. Especially with the scene where we see all the demons, the Hashira interacting with each other.
Yeah, I still need to watch the Mugen Train and the Entertainment District arc before I get into this one, but it's an absolute must watch for me. So, yeah.
And I was also able now to confirm that we are live on the Twitters. So I was able to do that correctly, at least. All right. My Home Hero. This is a show that I came in with not too much expectations, but it's been doing a lot of good. I'm quite happy to continue watching this. It's an interesting little, it's not a mystery, it's definitely a thriller. So the basic premise of the show, for those who have not seen it, is regular, good old fashioned husband who, loves his family, does average work. His daughter ends up dating a guy who is connected to the Yakuza. And because things happen, he ends up having to kill that guy and cover up the death. This all happens in the first episode, so not really too much of a spoiler. And from there, it's a matter of him using his love of mystery novels and whatnot to find a way to trick the Yakuza into not finding out he's the one who did it, and to just overall survive in this realm that he has now thrust his entire family into.
Mhm.
This one is damn good.
Yeah.
I've got this as an A tier. This is the most unexpected, unique anime I've seen in a very long time. And talking it over with a few of my buds, we've all come to the agreement that they're not doing anything that we ourselves wouldn't do in these situations. It's very realistic in its storytelling. It's not like he's trying to use some mystical power to trick the Yakuza or anything. This is as down to earth as it gets, and it's well worth the watch.
Yeah, it's no. They're not pulling Code Geass or Death Note levels of I outthought you all thinking type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's got a good feel to it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And every episode I just like it a little bit more. All right. Moving on to the next. My Clueless First Friend. I just didn't pick it up. No real negative feelings. Anybody else pick this up?
Nope.
No.
Nope. We can move on then. The Aristocrats' Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far. This one I don't think was even on my radar.
I watched the first episode, and it's your
Reincarnating into a world
typical.
of swords and magic. Say no more. I'm done.
Yeah. It's an isekai power fantasy. It would probably work better if the kid was older, but he's like 7, and no, I dropped it. I'm not picking it back up. It's just too stupid for me.
Yeah. Right. Mobile Suit Gundam, second season.
I didn't finish the first, so I'm not watching this yet.
I mean, the first season's all right.
Yeah. Right. The movie Suzume. I keep hearing good things about it. I mean to watch it at some point. Anybody seen it yet?
I haven't, but I should have.
Yeah. If only that they played in a movie theater near me. If only.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, they did for me, but I didn't take the time to go see it.
Skipping whatever this is. Do-do-do-do. What's all this? They say don't judge a book by its cover, but covers of books are exactly for people to judge them quickly. Yes, thank God.
Exactly.
I really hate that saying, don't judge a book by its cover. If I'm looking to find a good way to cook some Brussels sprouts, and on the cover is two dudes banging, I'm going to judge it by its cover and say, this is not what I'm looking for.
Makes complete sense.
And most of these thumbnails for those animes are no, yeah. All right, Bakusho, nope, skip. One Piece, I don't think anybody's watched or heard of that one. Soaring Sky, Pretty Cure. Is anybody a Pretty Cure watcher?
No.
No.
Nope. Moving on. This is the anime which just made me go, God, I fucking hate Japan. Summoned to another world for the second time. So the twist on this one is he got isekai'd, and then he got isekai'd again.
Yeah, I started it. I still have it on the list because I've only seen the first episode, and I think it could be good. But from what I understand about the next few episodes, is it changes. It I don't know yet. This is probably one of those that's gonna probably end up getting dropped.
The Danger's in My Heart. I began to watch it and dropped it because this made me a little bit uneasy because this is Japan's version of a school shooter who was planning to shoot up a school, but then decided actually this character who I was gonna kill is doing kind of quirky things, so I guess I'm not gonna kill everybody.
Mhm.
And I can't really get into that. I'm sorry.
Well, that and they're too young. That and the toilet humor. I was turned off by this after the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I think we're all in agreement. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth the time.
Galaxy Next Door. I was gonna watch it, then just ended up not for no particular reason. Just one of those things. Anybody watch this one?
Yes. It's relaxing. I like it. I think it could really go somewhere. And of course, as you're seeing there, it's comedy, romance, scene, and supernatural. It does have all of those elements in it. This is another one of those shows that could just be like Farming Life was last season. It's serious but doesn't take itself too seriously. It has fun elements to it and just relaxing. This will just be one to watch, to relax and unwind and to relax. I like it. I like it so far.
I do like relaxing. All right. My Love Story with Yamada-kun. This one pisses me off, but not for a reason you might think, is that its title, My Love Story, matches one of my favorite shows from 2014 called My Love Story. And so every time I see this on Twitter or something, I see, hey, My Love Story with Yamada-kun. Wait, that wasn't her name. Oh, they're talking about this.
Yay! Oh,
But otherwise, I have not
yeah.
seen this because I just didn't really catch my interest. No other reason beyond that. Anybody
I
else?
like it so far, but I've only seen the first episode. I think it could be an interesting study of the whole, gamer / weeb otaku type of person, or the differences between how men take gaming versus how women do, and how interactions between the two have changed and or suffered over the course of, let's say, the past 40 years compared to where we used to be. But I like it so far. It's probably going to be one of those that might be on the teetering, but so far it's still above board, just enough.
I see. Eden Zero Season 2, another second season thing. Anybody watching?
Nope.
No.
Nope. All right. Hell's Paradise. I have not watched this one. Anybody else?
Yes. And I like the whole. I know that for some, the premise of, I want to die, but I can't die, that can get old. But I like how this one, I like the setup of this and where they're going with it so far. And yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's worth checking out.
Interesting, right? I can add it to the list. Police Detective Agency. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Neither did I.
Whoop, there's that.
Yeah.
Heavenly Delusion. Anybody watch this?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Moving on. Detective Conan. Nah. Mix. Anybody? Whatever the hell this Mix May Say story season 2.
Nope.
Next Pokemon. Moving on. Otaku Elf. I am never going to touch this. Something about the cover art, the art style, just screams to me somebody made this and put everything I don't like into a show. I just find
Okay.
that the characters look so ugly to me and
The
so
design
flat.
the design of this one is bad. I do not disagree with that, but I have seen the first episode and it's one I'm going to continue, but it is definitely on the cusp. Basically, what happens if you have an elf who gets isekai'd into our world 400 years ago and within the past 40 years turns into a complete and total otaku? Complete, full on neat, never leaves their room. They love games, they love movies, they love their Red Bull energy drinks. And when a new apprentice of the shrine takes over, she tries to break her out of that shell. And I can see this being an interesting character study. And it is definitely weird. As I said, I got through the first episode. It's teetering. I'm going to give it at least the next 2, and we'll see how it goes after that. But it's in that range. It's very specific for who would watch it.
All right. Next up, the Cafe Terrace and its goddesses. I gave this one episode and wanted to drop it, but I decided, you know what? Maybe they're doing the thing where they're putting all the bad stuff in the first episode. And so I gave it the second episode. Nope, it's just trash. If you're one of those people that just wants to jack off all the time, go ahead and watch it. But if you have any interest in your existence beyond just jacking off, I don't see a point to this show. I mean, it starts off, introduces all 5 of the females. When the main character comes in, they all just so happen to be naked in their own unique naked ways. And that's how you get introduced to every single character. And that's pretty much the point of their freaking existence. I hate these shows. Anybody like it?
No.
I like it in the way that I like American Pie. This is something that I think a 20-year younger me would just be all over. Precisely because of what you mentioned. It's extremely ecchi, a harem, teetering to the point of a full-on perversion level. It could be good. It may still be good, but you're right. After the second episode, yeah, I made a mistake. Here, you could see college girl panties. And of course, he passes out.
Yeah, it's... It also
again,
had one of those
that,
classic... It had one of those classic let's break and defy all of gravity scenes where the character began to fall down the stairs and she was just about to land just, vag first into the dude's face until she kicked him in ways that, no human being can actually fall in that direction from the way... You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's very unrealistic in a lot of ways. But I do like the whole concept of him turning his grandma's shop around and actually going through the process of basically learning how to run a business.
Yeah,
I do like that aspect of it.
That's why I wanted to watch it, but it seems like they're going to be very shallow on that realm of the show. So
exactly.
Screw it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up being dropped, but right now it's a little above the the level that I have for my cutoff. So we'll see how the third and fourth episode go, and it might be dropped after that. We'll see.
All right, next, I did not watch this one. Rokudo's Bad Girls. Anybody watch this?
No.
No?
I started it, and I'm just like, no, I can't do this one.
Yeah. Moving on then. Season 2 of Buddy Wing, Golf Girl Story. Anybody else watching this?
I need to see the first season, otherwise I would be watching this because
Yes, you do.
I heard it's absolutely fantastic.
Yes. I mean, if you want to see murder, rape, the mafia, blackmail,
Gambling.
gambling, almost accidental incest, next level cuckoldry, violence, exploding limbs. And what's the show about? Women's golf.
They should have renamed it to Yakuza Girls Golf Story.
Like it's just so over the top, and I love it.
Yeah, that one's on my list. It's paused, but it's definitely on my. I need to see the first season to see the second season list.
Yes. Tony Kawa, Over the Moon for You, Season 2. I am watching this, and I'm still enjoying it. It's just a nice, lovely, just a fun show of a couple of cute people who are over age for once. Anybody else watching it?
I haven't seen the first one, so no, I'm not watching this one.
Nah.
Shame on all of you. Well, if you want to pick up a first season of something, this is a good one to do. I'm going to explain the basic premise. Basically, these two end up meeting, and things happen where he saves her life, but they're kind of strongly implying that she's some kind of a supernatural being. I don't know in what sense yet. Is that the one by the Hayate Crater? I believe so. Yeah. Yes, it is. And so they end up getting married, and that's, like, skip the whole dating thing. And yeah, it's just fun little shenanigans that comes from there. All right, next up, Mashal, Magic and Muscles. I read part of the manga a couple of years ago, so I knew what I was expecting going in. So this is not gonna, change the course of anime history or anything, but it's just a fun show. The basic premise is, in definitely not Harry Potter land, definitely has no connection to Harry Potter. They took nothing from it. Everybody can do magic, and anybody who cannot do magic, they basically kill off because they're filthy and don't deserve to live in this new realm. The main character cannot do magic, but he was saved by his adopted father. And so he decided to train young Mashal. Wait, was that his name?
Mash,
there we go. Young Mash, for just his physical prowess and make it beyond amazing. And so, because of shenanigans, he ends up having to join the magic school, definitely not Hogwarts. And so he has to basically bullshit his way with his muscles to make people think he can do magic. And shenanigans ensues with all of that.
oh yes, I'm enjoying
Now
the
I'm
crap out of
interested.
this. Plus, it's got cream puffs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a keeper. It's a very solid B tier, and in a way, I think it's teetering on A tier for me. Is it one that'll probably go back and watch again? Probably not, but it's a lot of fun at least one time through, at the very least.
Yes. Oh, of course, somebody who's calling me who I'll call him back later. It's actually an important phone call, but they call at the wrong time. Shame on them.
Unfortunate.
Next on the list, Too Cute Crisis. This one I'm watching and I'm enjoying. Basic premise: aliens come to this world to find out if a civilization is worth saving, and they've never run into cute animals before. And so running into all the cats and dogs and hamsters and whatever else, they're just kind of going nuts at just how cute they are. And it's just fun little observations that people make, and we get to see through the lens of somebody who's never seen animals. And so they point out how the cat really controls the person, and just various things like that.
I love this show. It's funny as hell. Right now, for me, it's a solid B. And this is the type of show that I could watch again, potentially dubbed, if for no other reason, but basically help reinforce what I've seen and help me get through, get me through some work while still, still laughing my ass off at it. That's the big thing for me. This one is making me laugh my ass off, so it's a keeper.
Manic, you seen it?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Well, if you want to watch something cutesy, there you go. Next, my one-hit kill sister. I did not even bother picking it up. Isekai, blah blah blah.
I watched half the episode and I dropped it. Yeah,
Well,
this is a, as I said before, isekai fantasy horror, but this one just didn't do the job. Plus, I don't really care for the how in your face her boobage is with her younger brother. That's disturbing.
yeah, Japan's got to cut back with the incest stuff. You know what? I had a weird observation yesterday or something. The most pushback I have seen coming out of filthy weebs with the incest stuff has for some reason been domestic girlfriend. Out of all the incest stuff, they choose the one thing that's not actually incest to push back on incest stuff.
Of course.
It's just really weird to me. Like, they're not related. So you choose that to make a stand on creepy incest stuff. Why? All right. Anyway, moving on. Ninjala. Moving on.
I think
Uh,
Ninjala is a Nintendo game, so it might be an adaptation of that.
Ninjala. We're on episode 64. So,
Yeah, no.
Ranking a King season 2. Anybody watch?
I saw season 1. I did not know there was a season 2. that was already out. So I'm gonna need to watch season 2 because I really enjoyed season 1 and how that
I have
ended.
heard good things about that. It's caught my interest for sure.
Haven't seen the first one, so I haven't seen this one.
Right. Next. Legendary Hero is Dead. I did not pick it up for whatever reasons. I don't even remember. Anybody else?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Let me see here. What did I write about it? So you get the legendary hero going on 3 years of kicking ass, and he dies the most inglorious death. Well, one of his party members just happens to be a necromancer. So what does she do? She takes the dude that killed him, puts his consciousness into the dead hero's body while it's decaying, and puts him in a tiny coffin, and basically says, you got to finish the hero's quest before you can get your own body back. And then it's just collecting more and more females and seeing who's your friend, who's not your friend. And it's definitely got the Ishii. It's definitely a parody. And I'm enjoying it, but I'm not laughing my ass off at it like I did with Too Cute Crisis. So it's one of those that I could see myself dropping, and I could also see myself going through to the end with it, but we'll see for sure.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Next, Opus Colors. Anybody watch that?
No.
Nope.
No.
All right, moving on. Season 3 of Dr. Stone. So it began like a regular good old-fashioned Dr. Stone season. Nothing too crazy. And then the end of the last episode was such a magnificent little twist. Have you guys watched that far yet?
I haven't seen the first 2 seasons of Dr. Stone, so I've got it on the list, but it's paused since I haven't seen the other stuff.
Shame. What about you, Manic?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, God, you're all awful. If you have not seen Dr. Stone seasons 1 or 2, I highly recommend it. It's a very unique, not isekai, a very unique anime in the way that it goes about stuff. They're not using fists and muscles and power-ups. Basic premise is things happen and humanity gets petrified for, I think it was over 3,000 years. And the main character, Senku, which is basically Goku, but for science, he manages to break free of the petrification, finds a way to reverse some other people's petrification, and they start to try and rebuild civilization with what Senku knows, with the natives who managed to survive. And there's a reason there's still a small amount of humans alive on this realm. And yep, story just goes from there. It's fantastic. It's not too believable. I mean, they find a way using primitive technology to create basically a cell phone. So there is a little bit of bullshittery. But from what I hear, the science is pretty much sound. It's just a matter of, come on, you're not going to be able to do all that like that and that fast. It's one of those cases. All right. After 5 years, the Ancient Magus Bride Season 2 is finally out. Anybody watched the first one and watching the second season?
No.
No?
No, I
Oh.
haven't seen the first season, so no.
It's honestly a fantastic show. The art is fantastic. The stories are just, how can I put it? They make you feel things in a way that makes you forget you're watching a show, which is very rare nowadays for any anime to do. And this is the second season continuation of Chisei and her adventures. So if nobody else watched this, we can just skedaddle on. Yuri is my job. I didn't bother watching this because it just felt like Yuri bait, and from what I can tell, I'm correct.
Yeah, Yuri Bait is. Oh, this was a terrible show. Yeah, and it's not even trying to be. I could see this working better if this was more like a hentai show as opposed to what it is. As it stands, it's just stupid.
Okay. Pass whatever that is. To Me, The One Who Loved You is another movie. I've not really heard much about this one. Anybody else hear anything about this?
Unfortunately, no.
Nope.
No.
All right. This is a music video of the intro to Oshinoko. Bofuri, they had a little bit of a delay. That's why this is here the way it is. That's last season, though. Uma Musume, an ONA of the Horse Girls Racing, who are also idols show.
Nope.
It's one of those things where I watched the first season just because I felt like I needed to understand where we were as a society. It left me confused. And I think we have actually... Yes, we have wrapped up the entire season. And so... that about sums it all up.
Yeah, that it does. For me, let's see. With re-adding Oshinoko, that leaves me with 15 brand new shows that I'm trying to keep up with this season. And there's probably, as I said, 1 to maybe 3 that I'll drop. And it leaves me with 12 dropped or 12 dropped that I'm definitely not going back to. So about normal. And out of those that I'm keeping, I would say about half are definitely worthy of the full watch, and the other half are going to be contingent upon what you like.
All right, Mr. Manic, it seems like you're not watching too many shows this season.
I've just kind of been busy lately. That's yeah, for the most part, on that YouTube grind.
Anything we've talked about that's caught your attention?
Yeah. yeah, the one where somebody was gonna shoot up the school.
That one, really?
Yeah, that one is like, oh yeah.
You youngsters.
The danger in my heart. No, it needed to be in high school in order for it to work better, because with it being set in junior high, it's got too much of that stupid ass toilet humor that 20 years ago I would have said, yeah, this is probably funny as hell. No.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So I think that that wraps everything up. Just under an hour. That's fantastic because I know one of us has to go. And I have a phone call I need to make to find out how many thousands of dollars I got to pay to U.S. Customs to get my goddamn machine. But I'm going to be a calm Teaman while I'm on the phone. And so thank you all who have joined us. Thank you all who have donated. Any closing thoughts from you two?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
let's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. I watched the newest Demon Slayer movie, not knowing it was a recap movie. So now I hate Demon Slayer. That's all I have to say.
Oh, I know that feel. I'm ready to find some new content. Oh, this isn't new content. This is rehashed.
Yeah.
Right.
The first episode was new, but there was 2 episodes that was just not. It was just season 2.
Yeah. All right. So thank you all who have joined us on this fun little adventure. We will see you next season, and hopefully things will continue to be as strong as they have been this season. So once again, farewell, everybody.
Take care, y'all.
Have a good one.